Two. Welcome back to MMAOddsBreaker. Of course, Johny Hendricks getting ready for his big fight coming up. UFC 181 December 6th against Robbie Lawler, but we don't care about that because wrestling has officially started in the NCAAs. Everybody now is officially in practice. Everybody's getting ready for their preseason tournaments. Everyone's doing well. Everyone's got their lineup set up. Let's talk about Oklahoma State. Where are they going to be this year?
You know, Oklahoma State, they're, whenever I go in there, I train with those guys. Man, they got really good talent. It's just can they get through the season, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? The season's very tough, and a lot of these guys, they're very young still. You know what I mean? They got a couple of strong kids that stand out that are going to be very good, but, right now it's just they're still trying to find their way. You know what I mean? So I think by the middle of the season, I think they're going to be something that's going to be hopefully going for the national championship.
They got a national champion, individual national champion sitting in their team right now?
Yeah. You got, golly, I can't think of his name. I call him something different than his name. Derringer?
Yep.
Derringer, 165. He moved up to 165 this year. Man, the guy's a beast. He's strong. He's athletic. And then you got a couple of smaller guys, that are going to come out strong, hopefully. Then you got the heavyweight, our heavyweight, he's going to be tough. Jared's going up there working out with him a lot. And, it's hard to find big guys. You know how that is. Yeah. Around here and around Oklahoma, all the big guys, they play football.
Yeah.
And so I think it's good that Jared's going back up there and working with Marsden and doing those kind of things. So, and I'm going to go back in there after this fight and try to help some of those other guys as well, give a different look at things.
Do they have a dark horse kid that's not ranked or low ranked is always going to pop into the top 4? You think?
I train with a guy, Crutchmeyer. He's our 174 pounder. Man, he's tough. He's really tough. If he can break through that, that's it's a little bit of mental, but also that just I'm gonna grind it out. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Just, you know what I mean? You know that. You wrestle in college, and you got to sit there and you got to find something in yourself that's going to say, nobody's going to beat me. I don't care if you're better than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as soon as he finds that out, the kid's strong. You know what I mean? He's athletic. If he can find that out, it's going to be really good for him.
Yeah, it's interesting this year. Iowa, of course, is the #1 preseason coming in, and you're looking at it, you're like, well, Iowa wrestling, they really have what's going to take to make it way through, and that's the one comment they made is that that a couple of different people have said, if Iowa University gets hurt, a couple places, guys have a couple bad matches throughout the season, get ranked low. Oklahoma State stays healthy. All of a sudden, Penn State, Minnesota, all of a sudden it could be a big change up there. Like everyone can all of a sudden get grambled in, and anybody's got a shot at winning. It depends on if they can stay healthy. It's been the biggest issue last couple of years is guys staying healthy through the entire season.
And this year, I just found out something different. That you gotta win 17 matches on D1. If you don't wrestle 17 matches, you got to wrestle 17 matches, and they all have to be D1. So how you wrestle some place
UCO, or you're gonna wrestle,
Yeah, or you wrestle somebody that might be ranked a little bit higher than you, but you step out.
Yeah.
And you only wrestle 16 matches, you can't go to NCAAs.
Okay, now, say you wrestled 14 matches. Are you able to go to your regional tournament?
Well, that's a great question. I think you can go to the regionals. You're just not qualified for NCAAs. So you'll have to go to Big 12. So for us, we'd had to go to Big 12s, and you have to win 3 matches. So you'd have to win the tournament.
The reason why I'm asking is because, Big 12, there's 5 teams. Say somebody's out, all of a sudden you're down to 2 matches. You're screwed. You can't get your 17. But the Big 10, they've got 100 guys. They have 11 schools. So all of a sudden now they have more than enough matches to get through. A guy can legitimately have 11 matches going into the regional tournament and get the rest of his matches to be qualified for nationals.
Exactly. Now that's the thing, is that's what's throwing a big twist in this year, is that because they're making it where it's going to make it tougher on everybody that they have. So like preseason's huge for these kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even the red shirts, because let's say halfway through the year somebody gets hurt. Well, they had to go to every tournament to get their 8 or 10 matches, so that way they could finish out their 7 matches to be able to qualify. And if they didn't, if they say they missed 2 tournaments, they were sick or they're injured, they now, if you're, let's say, for example, a 49-pounder and your backup missed 2 of the those tournaments, and our 49-pounder can never come back. Well, guess what? We can't put the red shirt in there because he's not going to nationals anyways.
Yeah, it makes no difference. He could be #1 ranked in the country at that point, and he still can't go. He doesn't have matches.
Yep.
Wow, that does change.
Exactly.
That's a whole new math game. Now head coaches are thinking, okay, St. Louis Open, Brockport Open, Lehigh Open, the Sheridan Open. We have to get these guys in, and they're trying to now seed guys. I don't want you going against Brockport University because that's Division III. I need you to go against Division I guy to get your numbers up. So I need you to go against OU right now. I need you to go against Iowa State right now, Minnesota right now, even though it's preseason. I need your numbers up because you might, as a redshirt, you might have to come in the middle of the season.
Yes.
It changes everything.
Or you might get injured. So you might be the senior, and you're ranked #1 halfway through the season. You get injured for 3 matches. Well, you're going to have to find a way to get those 3 matches back, and that comes into the preseason as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Dude,
I was like,
changes.
man, thank God I didn't have to worry about that.
I know, right? No more issues, no more worrying about it. The only thing you got to worry about now is Robbie Lawler. That's it.
Yep, exactly.
You won the first time. What's going to be different the second time? We all know we all know what you're going to say you're going to win. That's a given. But what's going to be different about this fight? Like, what are you going to do differently? Or how do you think you're going to approach this fight a little bit differently than last time?
Well, you know, that's the thing, is like I keep asking myself that over and over and over. You know, you have rematches all the time. You know what I mean? And this is my first actual rematch in MMA.
Right.
So that's something that's going to be a little different. Are we going to be able to make the adjustments? Are we going to be able to make it a better fight for me? Have we done the right things? And those things are going to be huge for my career because, you know, if you look at the welterweight class, it could happen a couple of times that I fight the same guy, you know? Let's say I get through Robbie Lawler, and then I fight Roy McDonald. Yeah. Well, you think Roy McDonald's not going to come back again? You know what I mean? If I hold on to the belt, yeah. So, you know what I mean? I might have to fight these guys 2 or 3 times. I don't know. So this is like a big step.
It's like being in the Big 12, and all of a sudden everybody in your weight class, everybody in the Big 12 is ranked. The entire weight class. Like,
yes.
I got this guy at the home duel, the away duel. I got him at the St. Louis Open. I got to have to wrestle him again at the All-Star meet. Like, I can't get rid of this kid. And then all of a sudden now it's the semifinals and then the finals of the national tournament. You're like, dude, I wrestled the same guy 19 times this year. You're comfortable with that. This is what you do. This is what you've done for a very long time. Do you think Robbie is as comfortable with the rematch as you are?
You know, I don't know yet. You know what I mean? We'll see when we go in there. You know, because it's hard to judge somebody. Definitely because, you know, I know he wrestled in high school, but he doesn't have like we have where you know, how many times do we wrestle OU? You know, I've wrestled them five times, 6 times a year. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then, so you're wrestling the same guy for 5 years, you know what I mean, 4 or 5 times a year. You know what I mean? By the time you're done, you had the same guy 20 times. You're like, good grief. You know what I mean? And so that's where we are comfortable. And I don't know if he's used to that. You know, and again, how does he adapt to what we did and all those kind of things? I think we have good adjustments to make it a better fight for us. I'm positive in those. And now, can we implement them? That's the fun part.
Yeah, that is the fun part for you because you actually like training. You actually like learning new stuff. You actually like, wow, I learned this last week, and boom, it's all of a sudden working in practice. You've always been that way. You've always been that kid that the education of athletics is a part of who you are. You like to learn new stuff and more stuff. Do you feel like sometimes because you really do like to learn about what's going to happen, you know, with your fight and learn about you and different things that you can do, that sometimes Mark has to go, no, Johnny, stop. Don't learn anything else. just stick with this for right now, even though because you want to learn more, but Mark's got to kind of keep you in that little box to keep you from doing that?
You know, my coaches, they try to teach me everything I can. And what they do is whenever so what I've learned is the more I can absorb, the more that I'm going to find out, okay, this doesn't work for me. This does. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, so then once they see me hitting it a couple times, they're like, okay, let's make it better.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Let's do this. Let's do that. Make it this way, this way. And so they show me as much as they can, and then they see what I actually use during my sparrings. And then that's whenever they'll break it down and make that better.
Now, you're a smart kid, like I said. You know, you've looked, Mark's looked. You guys kind of know what Robbie's got to do to beat you, what he's got to do differently to win. What's the one thing you think for sure, no matter what? Because it's a crapshoot. You're guessing. You don't really know what he's doing, what he's not going to do. What's the one thing he's got to, that you think that he has to do if he wants to beat you this next time out?
I think he's going to try to do a little bit more kicks.
Okay.
I think he's going to come out and try to kick. Because he said in his interview after the post fight that he didn't feel the kicks. You know what I mean? And I was throwing a lot of kicks. So he might come out trying to throw a lot of kicks. You know, it might be the wrestling that he's scared of, but you know, he might not be so scared of it after the last fight, even though, you know, certain things hindered me from getting the takedown. But, you know, he's still going off that last fight, what he felt, this, and this. So I think he's going to come out feeling confident about defending takedowns.
He's fought twice since you guys have fought each other. You haven't fought at all until this next fight. Has that helped him or hurt him, do you think, having those extra 2 matches?
You know, I don't, you know, again, that's just, you know, preference. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You know, for me, it was actually great to have some layoff, let my body heal. You know that, you know, wrestling, a grind of a wrestling season. And then you got to come back your very first match. If you're ranked #1, your very first match is probably your hardest.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of what this is like. This is gonna be my hardest fight. And how do I come back to this? And, you know, him staying sharp and all those kind of things could probably help him. You know, again, it really boils down to if I can implement my game plan and keep it going. You know what I mean? And keeping things mixed up.
In your time off, did you do anything special with the family? Did you do anything extra that you normally don't do?
Man, I just did a lot of work. Whatever my wife said, I did. You know what I mean? You know, because, you know, for 6 weeks, I really couldn't do much.
Yeah.
But after the 6 weeks, man, my wife was like, hey, we need to do this. Just gave me a bunch of lists of stuff to do, and I tried to do them as fast as I could so that way we could, you know what I mean, have some time off where I actually got to sit in the house and enjoy everybody.
Yeah, put your feet up and relax and just put your thumb on the remote. Just change channels. Last question before we get out of here. GSP's been rumored he's back in the gym. He says he's heavier than he's ever been. Of course, he's had some time off. GSP comes back. More than likely, you know how the UFC works. You're the champ. We're going to give him an immediate rematch. This is how it goes.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to come back? Do you think GSP's going to come in and try to come back?
Okay, so if he comes back, I would like that. You know what I mean? I'd like to face GSP again. But then again, you know, there's a part of me that says, you know, he did so much for the sport. Why? Why do you need to come back?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even though the last fight was a little sketchy, he still did so much for the welterweight division and for UFC. You know, and if he comes back, that's great. But if he doesn't, like I said, you know what I mean? He has a legacy that's going to be hard to beat. And, you know, that's not what I'm here to do. It's not beat it. Yeah. It's to set my own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Set my own. And that's my goal right now. It's not, you know, the welterweight class is freaking stacked right now. You know what I mean? And it's probably been the stacked it's been in a long time, you know? And if I can get through these guys, then that's a huge legacy of my own. So if he comes back, that's awesome. If he doesn't, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I would love to rematch you.
That's Johny Hendricks. He's got Robbie Lawler coming up here, UFC 181, December 6th in Las Vegas, Nevada. Johnny, thanks for coming on here. I know you got practice. Get out of here and go get after him, champ. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, thank you very much. You have a great day, okay?